She walked out the door and was never seen alive again. But as police searched for her, they began uncovering fragments of a life no one really knew. Friends described her as bright, kind, and full of dreams. But behind the smiles, she carried a haunting secret, one that would change everything investigators thought they knew about her disappearance. This is the story of Hannah Blake, a 27-year-old woman who vanished on a warm summer evening in 2019. What started as a missing persons case quickly spiraled into a dark tale of hidden abuse, betrayal, and a truth no one could have imagined. Hannah Blake grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. Born on June 14, 1992, she was the youngest of 3 children in a tight-knit Southern family. Her mother, Linda, remembers her as the one who always lit up a room. "Hannah was my sunshine," she said. She loved to sing, even when she was little. She'd put on these pretend concerts in our living room with a hairbrush microphone. She just had that spark. Hannah wasn't just bubbly, she was driven. She studied nursing at the University of Tennessee, inspired after her father suffered a heart attack when she was a teenager. Friends said she had a natural ability to comfort others. Her best friend, Rachel, described her as fiercely loyal. She was the type who would drop everything if you needed her. "She was like family to me. I thought we'd grow old together." By 2017, Hannah had graduated and was working at St. Mary's Hospital. She rented a small apartment near downtown Knoxville, excited to start a new chapter in her life. Everything seemed bright, but things began to shift when she met Derek Lawson. Hannah first encountered Derek at a friend's birthday party in early 2018. He was 32, a local contractor, tall, charming, with that kind of easy confidence that made people listen when he spoke. Rachel recalled that night. He was magnetic. He bought drinks, made everyone laugh. Hannah was glowing around him, but I remember thinking he had this edge. Like he needed everyone's attention. For Hannah, who had always dated quiet, studious men, Derek felt like an adventure. He swept her off her feet with grand gestures, surprise flowers, weekend getaways, constant affection. By summer, they were inseparable. But friends noticed the first red flags almost immediately. Derek wanted to know where Hannah was at all times. If she didn't answer his calls, he would show up at her work parking lot. At first, Hannah brushed it off as caring, but her coworkers grew concerned. One nurse remembered she'd roll her eyes and say, "That's just Derek being protective." But sometimes, I'd see her hands shake when his name popped up on her phone. By late 2018, Hannah began to withdraw. She canceled plans with friends. She stopped singing at church. Rachel recalled, "It was like watching her light dim. She kept saying she was tired, but I knew something was wrong." On August 9, 2019, Hannah worked a 12-hour shift at the hospital. Her coworkers said she seemed distracted, worried about something. She left around 7:45 p.m. At 8:12 p.m., surveillance cameras captured her stopping at a Kroger grocery store. She bought a carton of milk and a frozen dinner. At 8:37 p.m., her phone pinged near her apartment. She texted Rachel, "Home now. Exhausted. Talk tomorrow?" That was the last message she ever sent. By Monday morning, when Hannah failed to show up for her hospital shift, alarm bells rang. She was punctual to a fault. Her supervisor called her phone. No answer. Her mother tried too. Nothing. By that afternoon, her family filed a missing person report. Detectives immediately canvassed her apartment. The front door was locked. Groceries sat on the counter, untouched. Her car was in the lot. Purse inside. Phone charger still plugged in, but Hannah's phone was gone. Police searched the wooded areas around her complex. Volunteers combed nearby parks. Flyers went up across Knoxville. Rachel stood before TV cameras, begging for her friend's return. "Hannah, if you can see this, please come home. And if someone has her, please let her go." For a week, there was nothing. Then came a breakthrough. Investigators turned their attention to Derek Lawson. When questioned, Derek claimed he hadn't seen Hannah since the previous weekend. He told police their relationship was on a break and that she was probably with friends. But detectives were uneasy. Derek's story was vague. His alibi, spending the evening alone at his apartment, was thin, and neighbors reported seeing his truck parked outside Hannah's building around 9 p.m. the night she vanished. Police obtained a warrant. Inside Derek's apartment, they found scratches on his forearm and a pair of jeans in the trash, stained with what looked like blood. DNA testing confirmed it was Hannah's. 2 weeks after Hannah disappeared, hikers stumbled upon a shallow grave in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, about 30 miles from Knoxville. Inside was Hannah's body. She had been strangled. Her hands were bound with duct tape. A piece of tape was still stuck to her hair. Detectives believed she had been killed the night she vanished and transported under cover of darkness. The discovery shattered her family. Linda broke down before cameras. "My baby didn't deserve this. She just wanted to help people. Why? Why would anyone do this to her?" As investigators built their case against Derek, they uncovered something chilling. Hannah had confided in a co-worker weeks before her death. She revealed Derek had become controlling and violent. He once grabbed her arm so hard it left bruises. But she also confessed something else. Hannah had discovered Derek had a criminal past, one he had kept hidden. Court records showed Derek had been arrested in 2012 for assaulting a former girlfriend in Nashville. The charges were dropped when the woman refused to testify. Even more shocking, Derek had been investigated in 2015 for the disappearance of another woman, Kayla Moore. She was last seen leaving a bar with him. Her body was never found. Though never charged, Derek remained a person of interest. Hannah had discovered this, and according to texts on her phone, she planned to confront him. The night she vanished may have been that confrontation. Derek Lawson was arrested on September 3, 2019, and charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and evidence tampering. The trial began in March 2021. Prosecutors painted a devastating picture. Derek, enraged by Hannah's attempt to leave him, strangled her in her apartment. He cleaned up, transported her body, and buried her in the mountains. They presented text messages from Hannah. "I know about your past. We need to talk," sent just 2 days before her death. The defense argued Hannah's death was accidental. That argument turned physical, and Derek lost control. But the jury wasn't convinced. After 6 hours of deliberation, Derek Lawson was found guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to life without parole. For Hannah's family, justice brought little peace. Her sister, Emily, said, "We wanted her future back, and no verdict can give us that. But at least he can't hurt anyone else." In her memory, the Hannah Blake Foundation was created, focused on educating young women about coercive control and hidden abuse. They launched programs in Tennessee schools, teaching students to recognize red flags in relationships. Her mother travels the state, speaking to college groups. She ends each talk the same way. "If love makes you feel small, afraid, or silenced, it isn't love. My daughter didn't get the chance to walk away. You still can." Every August 9th, on the anniversary of Hannah's disappearance, friends gather at the hospital chapel. They light candles. They sing her favorite hymn, and they remind each other that behind every case is a real person with a life that mattered. Hannah Blake's story is a haunting reminder of how abuse often hides behind charm, how secrets can bury themselves in plain sight until it's too late. She wasn't just a victim. She was a daughter, a sister, a nurse, and a friend who gave her life to helping others. If you or someone you know feels trapped, controlled, or unsafe, please reach out for help. There are people and resources ready to stand with you. And if Hannah's story touched you, I ask you to honor her memory by sharing this video, leaving a comment, and subscribing. The more these stories are told, the more awareness we bring, and the more lives we may protect. Because silence is never the answer.